Well, a very good evening and thank you for joining us. My name is Omondi and this is KUTV Primetime News. It is a Monday, the 31st day of January, the year 2022. Tonight, we have a lot in store for you and what is happening in the country and of course beyond our borders. And also tonight, we shall be having a discussion on the Clarion call for peace ahead of polls. Before we dive into depth of the bulletin, let's take a look at the stories making headlines tonight.
At least 7 people killed after an explosive blew up a matatu in Mandera. Banditry victims in Baringo turned to God after government failure to grant them security. Rivers private hospitals strike a deal with the Ministry of Health over NHIF insurance. Wingi residents flee their homes following an invasion by stray elephants.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Omondi Otieno.
Welcome to the broadcast. I'm not alone. I'm in the company of Sharon Wamboi, who is our sign language interpreter tonight. We are streaming this broadcast live on our social media platforms on Facebook, KUTV Kenya, and on Twitter, KUTV_Kenya. It's also live on YouTube at KUTV Live. Now, at least 7 people were killed and several others injured after a matatu they were traveling in ran over an improvised explosive device along the Arabia-Mandera Road. Police have since launched investigations into the incident as the exact number of casualties remains unclear. One suspect has so far been arrested.
Barely a week after the Western embassies issued a terror attack warning in Kenya, Mandera County is in utter blow following the death of 7 people and injuries of several others after a 14-seater matatu they were traveling in ran over an improvised explosive device along the Arabia-Mandera Road. However, the exact number of passengers has not been established. 13 who had incurred several injuries are still receiving treatment at the Mandera Referral Hospital, as 4 others are still in a critical condition.
We responded very fast with the ambulances and we mobilized the team, the medical doctors, the nurses and everybody. We managed to stabilize them. In total, there are about 13 casualties, the way Chief Officer has said. Those are 3 female. Of this female, there is a 3-year-old girl who got the fracture tibia fibula.
Among those killed were 3 women, including an 8-month pregnant woman and 4 men. Several goats and sheep that were being ferried to the market also died. According to Mandera County Police Commander Rono Bunei, the attack is suspected to have been carried out by Al-Shabaab terrorists who have been attacking places in the region, especially in Mandera and Garissa counties after breaching security zones.
Na mimi naeleza wananchi kwa nini nyinyi mkiona watu lazima mueleze sana, sasa tumepoteza watu. Na tunasema tushirikiane sisi wote, polisi na raia.
Last Friday, police spokesperson Bruno Shioso in a statement assured Kenyans of a beefed-up security that had been mounted countrywide to deal with any signs of terror attack, while also demanding cooperation from citizens to report any suspicious activity. So far, 1 suspect has been arrested over the Mandera explosion. Anodida, KUTV, Nairobi.
Still on matters insecurity, victims in Lamaiwe Baringo South are seeking God's help following incessant banditry attacks which have seen thousands displaced in the region. The locals who fled their homes after 3 people were killed blame the government for not securing the area around Lamaiwe dispensary, hence seeking divine intervention from the Creator.
Worrying tales of banditry have been synonymous with Baringo for quite some time. Recently, a total of 7 villages, including Korkoron, Lamaiwe, Toyotich, Kapkwanayan, Kaptarakwa, Kapkechir, and Elbow, have been affected. 5 schools have been closed, leaving at stake the fate of candidates, including the Grade 4 CBC national examinations, which were supposed to commence today. Fear of the bandits striking at any moment saw security officers being assigned duties and stationed at various points to enhance the security during a prayer meeting among the locals and their leaders.
Nini waziri ya usalama unachukua muda kuja kusaidia sisi katika eneo hii? Jana watu wawili walipongwa risasi. Saa hii wako hospitalini. Ni muda gani unahitaji ili ujue kwamba sisi ni Wakenya kama wengine?
Tumekutana ili tuombe maombi maalum kwa sehemu hii tupate amani wa kudumu. Tukiongea hapa sasa, kuna mashule ambao imefungwa.
The locals have now turned to religion in prayer, saying that the government has failed to provide them with security even after their continuous cries, including demonstrations. This happens less than 24 hours after 2 people were critically injured after bandits shot them in Lamaiwe village. The 2 are currently receiving treatment at Baringo County Referral Hospital.
I had a phone call with my colleague just now, CS Fred Matiangi, and he has assured me that beginning tomorrow, the GSU commandant will be here and that KPR process will begin.
Itacha amani, hata serikali yakitulisha, atupe chakula, atupe mablanketi, atutosheke na hiyo. Tunahitaji amani jameni. Maana hata tukishiba bila amani hatutakuwa na afya.
Residents agreed that the deployment of Kenya Police will at least help restore peace and order in the area. The state of violence in Baringo County and Elgeyo Marakwet has rose to unprecedented level for the last 1 month. 5 people were this week killed in Elgeyo Marakwet. Cases of banditry and insecurity have also been witnessed in Kagir, Yatia, Chemoye in Baringo County. Caroline Kimwele for KUTV.
Thank you so much, Kimwele, for that report. Now to matters health, it is a reprieve as the private hospitals will now continue offering services to patients using the National Health Insurance Fund NHIF cover until the 31st of March the year 2022. The decision was reached after a temporary deal was between the Kenya Association of Private Hospital KEFA and the Ministry of Health to allow room for negotiations between the 2 parties.
NHIF and private hospitals have been at crossroads over a number of issues, where recently the Kenya Association of Private Hospitals said they could not accept the heavily reduced rates that the fund had imposed on them. There had been complaints that NHIF had been paying too much to private hospitals, attributing it to medical fraud, including impersonation of beneficiaries. In this accord, the 2 parties have reached a temporary agreement to continue offering services to patients using the National Health Insurance Fund cover until March 31st, 2022.
That we extend this consultation from the deadline of today, and we are pushing it up to the end of March. We have created work teams that will engage with each other so that we can come to a good agreement and understanding. And as such, the contracts between NHIF and all service providers will be signed after the 30th of March.
The chairman has also pointed out the importance of the partnership between NHIF and the private hospitals, stating that it is only mandatory that every person gets access to the health services regardless of their choice of hospital.
Universal health coverage is ensuring that every single Kenyan is able to access health care and does not suffer financial hardship.
I'm pleased to say, and the team shall elaborate further, that we've reached an agreement. There shall be no halting of services at the private sector. We have given ourselves a moratorium period where we shall be able to review the current payment rates. We shall be able to come together around the table and discuss how we ensure care is affordable.
The Kenya Association of Private Hospitals Head of Communications, Joseph Otieno, noted that an agreement had been reached but consultations were still being held.
The top management from the ministry and from NHIF have come to the table and have given us ourselves 2 months to come to a conclusion that's beneficial to all of us. We wouldn't want NHIF to collapse, and we wouldn't want private sector or any other institution that provides services to collapse.
The CAF chairman Abdi Mohammed had stated that the current terms of engagement do not favor hospitals and thus the need for them to boycott the fund. Deliberations to ensure that NHIF becomes a sustainable solution to the gaps that are coming in the health sector have taken course to bring a significant change in healthcare. Anodida, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now to matters politics. Speaker of the National Assembly Justin Muturi has clarified that political parties have until the end of March to submit the membership to the membership list to the register of political parties, contrary to a gazette notice issued by the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, giving 9th April as the deadline. The newly enacted political parties law allows political parties to file the membership list by the end of March. The law also empowers the registrar of political parties to certify a political party membership list and nomination rules, among other transformative provisions aimed at strengthening the management of the political parties and enhancing democracy.
We cannot wait until the 26th. So as a party, I propose that, and I suspect it, the necessary organ will agree with me, that let us close the process by 20th so that we prepare those lists and submit them now to the registrar and wait for the certified copies.
Now it is 1 week to the closure of the registration exercise, and the Independent Electoral Commission is yet to meet its target. Despite adding 500,000 new voters to the register, the Commission Chair Wafula Chebukati has noted that this is far beneath the expectations. Chebukati has called out to the yet to be registered voters to take advantage of the final week to fit into the exercise list before the elections day in August.
And mine is to appeal to Kenyans all over. Please take advantage of this last week and register. If you have an ID card, go and register so that you can be able to elect leaders of your choice. So that's why we are here. And as a commission, we are ready to give Kenyans elections on 9th of August. All programs are as per our election operation plan, and right now I am confident that everything is running smoothly.
It's very important for the youth. Most of them are shunning the registration exercise. Go and register as voters so that when it comes the elections day, your voices may count. They won't count before you register as voters. It is very important that you participate on the democratic process. Away from that, 46 people have tested positive for coronavirus from a sample size of 2,324 tested in the last 24 hours. This accounts for the present cumulative tally of 321,381 positive cases and a positivity rate of 2.0%. However, 107 patients have recovered from the disease, pushing the total recoveries to 294,722. Sadly enough, 3 more patients have succumbed to the disease, raising the cumulative fatalities to 5,583. And on my chronometer, it's 16 minutes past the top of the hour. It's time we take a fast break here on KUTV Primetime News. The moment we shall be coming back with the discussion of the night. A clarion call for peace, very integral for our existence ahead of the polls. Stay with us. See you in a moment.
KUTV, in conjunction with Kenyatta University Funeral Home, is now offering death announcements immediately following on news bulletins at 7 p.m. At this sorrowful time, as you share in your grief, allow us to communicate your announcement of your loved one on KUTV in both Kiswahili and English. For more details, kindly inquire at the KU Funeral Home Service Desk or call 0736 928 380 or dial 020 359 9054.
This couple met in diaspora. They fell in love and had a child. They decided to move back home and make things official. Now, here is the bombshell. They found out that they were related. Wow. With Orbital Global, you can save yourself the embarrassment.
How well do you know your family lineage? Your cousins, uncles, aunties, nephews, nieces? Orbital is here for you. Visit www.orbitalglobal.com. Orbital Global, connecting families, uniting nations.
Reggae mtaani na mashinani, it's all about good reggae music. You tune in to KUTV. Everything set, link and connect. You know how we do it. Good vibration, good music alongside.
Let's recall some great men.
Call me the messenger, aka the lyrical DJ Sweet K. I'm gonna bring you the message straight from the artist to your comfort zone. Always stay tuned to KUTV Reggae Iration.
I'm a freshman in Kenyatta University. This is all what I've heard about campus. Campus is full of freedom.
Ni cumulative.
Mchezo hiyo ili poka gani kwani?
I'm a fourth year student and I mostly hang out at shopping center. I'm an arboretum. And what I'd tell first years is it's never too late to start being serious.
We are privileged to bring you a fine dining experience right in your kitchen and your dining table. So today we are going to be making grilled lamb chops served with butternut puree with an accompaniment of roasted or rather grilled cucumber and onions. So get your recipe book and let's get cooking.
Ni mwanzo mpya kwa mtazamaji wa Boresha Kilimo. Tunaangazia mapito tofauti ya wakulima, teknolojia mpya, juhudi za kuimarisha utoshelevu wa chakula, nafasi za kazi katika majira ya ajira, mbinu mpya. Kaa nami Laban Shaban kupata makala ya kukuburudisha na kuelimisha hapa KUTV. Ni a new experience.
Things you know are right. Nothing worth the gain you attain by sudden flight. Don't you know that I still care for you? We flipped down, got me needing more and more of you. Gonna be the one to catch you.
Far East, welcome to the empire. Far East, we call it find true love. And you will see what your love has done for me.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Omondi Otieno.
Right. Now, thank you so much for staying with us on KUTV Primetime News. As I told you before, we are sharing this live broadcast on our Facebook and Twitter on KUTV Kenya on Facebook and Twitter KUTV_Kenya. It's also live on YouTube. You can tell us what you think about the bulletin. Time for the discussion now. As the days for the August polls continue to draw near, our political temperatures escalate day by day, fueled by the utterances and the banters from the aspirants. At such a peak season, peace and harmony are essential in our daily living. Peace Ambassador CBO, a group of young individuals, witnessed that political violence culminates to have voluntarily mandated themselves to spread a message of peace across the country. Joining me tonight is Elizabeth Otokoma, the Secretary General, to shed more light on the Peace Awareness Initiative. So, Elizabeth, thank you so much for dedicating your time for this discussion.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Right. Now, it is such a good initiative that you people started. So tell us about Peace Ambassadors CBO. What really necessitated the coming up of this organization?
Okay, Peace Ambassadors is a group of young youths, intellects, people who've grown up together.
Right.
They've shared many things on political line, economic line. And now we decided, let's come back together and see what we can give back to the society.
Right.
During this political time, we see like this is a good opportunity to also reach out to our fellow youths.
Yes.
We are from Embakasi, and most of us hail our achievements and all our programs from Embakasi at the moment. And so far we are good, a group of 10 people. We forge on together. We have all our struggles, but we're moving on.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's so impressive. Now, probably just to ask, who are your target audience? Is it the electorates? Is it the politicians who are allegedly fueling, the kind of violences and the utterances they are facing in the political scene?
Thank you so much. Actually, our main target group is our fellow youths.
Right.
Because the youths are the backbone of this country. And if the youths fail to rise up, we have no one to stand up when the old people are all gone.
Right.
So we are standing up to reach out to the youths, the vulnerable, and the mothers. Those are the targets that when there is violence, they get most hit.
Sure.
And these women are into business. The vulnerable are not able to take care of themselves. And the youths, they just fight. They'll not be able to stir up any other peace forum if at all they are not enlightened earlier on. So our target group, mostly, we want to reach out to the youths in the country, in every community that we are going to be able to access. We want to tell the youths to simame, let's come up. It is us that will take over when our fathers have gone.
Sure.
So when you're not able to stand now, there is nothing that we can do. So most of our targets are the youths, because they are still very strong and they have the energy to drive this country to a better place.
Right. Maybe still on that, because when you're talking about violence in terms of in these political seasons, mostly it emanates from the leaders, from the politicians. Are you also doing something from the concerning the leaders, the politicians themselves? Because the violence that is experienced in a country during the political seasons, we could say is a trickle down violence, starting from the leaders coming downwards to the electorates at the ground level.
Yeah, it's actually been a challenge. We started approaching the leadership, and some of the leadership do not support such initiatives because they want to use us down here. So we are reaching out, as far as I'm concerned and as far as you're concerned at the moment. In our ward, that is Embakasi ward, we reached out to all the MCAs who are vying, and we told them, you guys come together with us. Help us spread this mission. That is the only way we will elect you, knowing that you are also for peace. Because you up there are the ones who are dividing us down here. So we reached out to the MCAs. Some of them are cooperative, some are not cooperative. And now we were telling our youths, if anyone is not cooperative at this level of bringing us together and standing with us for the sake of peace, that is someone we should not elect.
Sure.
So actually, we want to cut it across, even to the MP level, to the governorship. We want them to come on board. if they are able to unite up there, then out down here we are fine.
Right.
They should not trickle down the effect of violence and
Right.
hatred between us down here.
Sure.
So we're really struggling. Leadership is not cooperative, but we're trying.
Right.
We are young people, and most of these people in leadership don't support us. They feel like we want to stop some of the things they want to do.
Sure.
And that is maybe, some are not of goodwill. They want to cause violence.
Right.
Some are of goodwill. They have come through on the table for us. So we celebrate them.
Right.
And we salute them.
Nice. Now, probably because I had seen, I don't know whether which rally was that, but I'd seen you people had a rally sometimes back that I saw on YouTube. So, what are some of the success stories that can be alluded to this initiative that you started so far?
Peace ambassadors, we have success stories. And we also have challenges. Some of our success stories is our just recent peace forum that we are able to bring our MCAs on board. Our MCAs, Alan Oremo, we thank you so much, Stephen Mopao and the others. They also came on board to support the mission. I can say that was one of our biggest, that was one of our biggest achievement.
Right.
So far we've been down on ground, talking maybe door to door, trying to reach out on the youths, the ones that we can get on a one-on-one level. And we have also done environmental projects. We're also trying to reach out to schools and do anti-drugs campaigns. We have not gotten the platform yet, but we are working on it so that we can be able to reach each and every youth, those who are still small, those who are coming up, and those who are already grown-ups. Actually the youths now at the good capacity. So I will say we are a young group. We require support, and we are striving, and I know we are doing it.
Right.
And Kenya needs people like us.
Sure.
And we are doing it.
Right.
Yes.
That's so impressive. Now, maybe just to ask, in this initiative, what are probably some of the strategies that you people are having to ensure that, the message that you're spreading, it syncs well with the electorates and with the general public at large?
Okay, what I will say is that some of the strategies we've put across, we are inviting the companies for CSR projects. Some of the companies are responding well. Like previously in our last event, Pharma Plus pharmacies, they came on board for us and they helped us put up a very good platform.
Right.
So we are sending out letters to NGOs, we are sending letters to business people, we are sending letters to corporates, and we are sending letters to all well-wishers. Those are the people that can come up and help us drive this project.
Right.
Because you will not just go out and tell people come somewhere without any proper planning, without any good quorum of the vicinity that surrounds you. So we've gone that extra mile. We are sending invites whenever we want to achieve a project. We send invites to all well-wishers, the corporates that surround us, and the leadership. We have been trying to tap into the leadership that is current, and we're also tapping into the leadership that is oncoming.
Right. Now, maybe just to ask, because when you're talking about peace, the church and the clergy are mostly, at the forefront of spreading the message of peace and harmony, mostly ahead of polls. Have you probably maybe considered, doing this, initiative with them or something of that sort?
Thank you so much. Actually, the clergy, Bishop Hudson Denda, who is in charge of the clergy in Nairobi region, he's been so helpful. He's been so supportive in our events. In fact, the last event, he really helped us for it to be a success. We appreciate the church and we celebrate them. He has been on the front line for us, but we still have rivals in the church. Like, you will invite a certain church and a certain church will not come.
Right.
You will invite the Muslims and the other ones will feel attacked. So actually it's been a challenge, but we are forging on. We're just telling people, if someone is on set, this is a peace forum.
Right.
We are not spreading hate. And everybody we're inviting is in the vicinity. So if I invite this one and it happens to be someone maybe you're not approving, that is what we want to break. We want us to be one family.
Right.
So we have invited the clergy, and we have invited all the other members. So I can say the clergy has been so supportive through Bishop M0NDAY. And all I can say is that they are supporting even our next projects. They have even promised to come through for our next project. Actually, I will say they're in the front line.
Right.
They are in the front line more than the leadership. And we expected the leadership to be in the front line more than the clergy.
Right.
But we thank God for everything. And we just pray that with time, everybody will come on board. As we walk across, we have started this caravan in Embakasi. We want this caravan to move to the next county. We want this caravan to go to Mashinani. And we want to tell our youths, come, it is our time.
Sure.
It's our time to take over. And if we don't do it now, we will not have the energy to do it when we are old.
Right.
Because this our people, we need the Wangari Maathai of tomorrow.
Sure.
We need the Jalango of tomorrow. We need the Caroline Mutuku of tomorrow. If today I don't wake up and push myself, Caroline Mutuku in the future will not be there. We need to carry legacies of people who've propagated good stuff.
Sure.
As the youth, I will just tell those who are listening to me, do not be afraid. Challenges are there. But wake up, do something. Fight for this nation, fight for wherever you are. Your kids will really appreciate once you wake up. So I say everybody, let's shake hands.
Right.
The electorate, let's just be happy. Whether you support this or whether you support the other person. Democracy is everybody's right.
Sure.
Let's stand up. Let's fight for peace and let's advocate for peace.
Right.
We need you. You need me. Elections come and go.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now, maybe just to borrow from what you're saying, that you're facing a bit of challenges because maybe on the religious line we're finding that we have differences. When it comes to religion, when you're pushing for something as Christians, the Islamists will probably feel that they're attacked. So it means in this journey you're really facing a lot of challenges. So probably maybe on the religious differences and maybe other challenges, how do you try to mitigate some of these challenges that come by?
On board, I will say on board we have cut across. We have got the SDA, our members are cut across. And we have members from this side, we have members from this side, we have members from this side. So when we invite people and someone tries to make it look like it belongs to someone else, we'll let them know, like, see, even so-and-so is here, is part of us. So we have balanced in our membership, we have balanced. We've got everybody in a different religion. So you advocate for your religion, you bring them on board.
Right.
You advocate for your democratic maybe person, bring him on board. You advocate for someone that is so different, antichrists, you still bring them on board.
Right.
So we are peaceful people, we accommodate everyone. And we just want everyone. We don't want this division. This division is what we are trying to do away with.
Sure.
And once everybody tries to understand that we are for oneness, then we will have a lot of people supporting us. Because I don't know if anyone will not support peace. I just don't know why someone will not support peace.
Peace is an
peace is
ingredient.
paramount. Yeah, it's paramount. Because after 9th August, you need to run your business.
Sure.
You need to go to work. You need to come and say hi to me. So if you're destroying this thing now, how will I look at you tomorrow? So we want to think beyond politics.
Right.
Yeah, because our initiative is not just this time. We want to carry it throughout. So we're not going to be a 5-year thing like our politicians. We want this thing to be year in, year out, so that the youths are empowered.
Right.
And that is our mission. So I would really appreciate if everybody will come on board.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, maybe if you try to do an analysis comparing what used to happen in the past, because, when you try to look at the 2007, 2008 polls, whatever transpired after the polls, and or when we had the next general election in 2013, whatever we had in 2017, are you seeing any difference? Maybe people have now, sanity has taken, shape, and, people are not so much allied to what the leaders are doing, and following up to doing things that the way they are supposed to be. And how do you see, is it are we changing with the times?
Okay, I will say we're changing, and this is what I will say. In 2007, when we went, was it 2007?
2007 to 8.
Yeah, 2007 to 8, the violence.
Yeah.
Actually, I was still in high school, and so during that time, people on top, the politicians on top, were not incoherent. They were not together, making us down here more apart.
Sure.
I will say up to now, there is a change. We had the handshake, and people realized, if they are shaking hands, why am I fighting my neighbor?
Sure.
And in fact, from there, I have seen a change. And people, when you approach people like right now and you ask them about some political stance and political state, some of them are like, politics kwa saizi, wacha tu wajua ngangane nayo. In fact, some had said like, atutapiga kura.
Right.
Yeah. I will say people are not more influenced now than before.
Sure.
I think people are getting to open up their eyes. People are getting to understand that this is politics. And on top there, they always say they are not they are not enemies. They're just having different ideologies.
Sure.
So down here we are saying we are peaceful, no matter your ideologies. So up to me, if you ask me, I will say it's not as bad as it was before.
Right.
So people have changed. Although it's going to take time for everybody. We still have that group of people who still feel like, I'm in Flani, and I have to do as Flani says.
Right.
We still have that portion in our society. And that is the portion we are trying to reach out to and to tell them, listen, we are one. If that person goes and takes the seat, you will still come back and ask me for help.
Sure.
You will not be able to access the office. It's only me that is here with you on ground. So I will say it's good progress so far. Maybe mentally for people who are getting enlightened day by day. Also, technology is helping us.
Sure.
People are not more into dark as it was before.
Right.
We are exposed to more vices that are happening in other countries, and we are learning.
All right.
So Kenya, I think we are progressing. So far, not bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned a point that, when you try to ask people with their political stance, they're telling you that they're not even sure whether they'll vote. They're not so concerned with what's happening in the political scene. And it's also evident because, when IBC was doing the mass voter registration exercise, they didn't meet their target. Even the second registration exercise that is yet to end on 6th of February, they have not met their target. Are you also probably doing something to ensure, maybe some form of mobilization in, the initiative that to ensure that the young people who have the numbers, they dictate whoever comes into power. When it comes to the polls, their voices may also count. Are you also doing something, form of mobilization?
Yeah, we actually doing that. I remember our last event, we had IBC people on ground with us, and we mobilized them. We were telling the young people, you not voting is voting for the wrong person.
Sure.
Actually, I will say the youths, I don't know if they've lost hope or they're just feeling like they're wading across waters.
Right.
So we are trying to also bring hope into the youths and telling them we have so much power. We have so much power with us. And the moment we register as voters, that is the only way we are going to speak. The moment you're going to be silenced, and you're not going to wake up on that day, you're going to elect a bad leader.
Sure.
You not voting is electing a bad leader. You come be part of the process. And during our peace forums, we are also as I said earlier, we are tapping into the oncoming leadership.
Right.
So we are telling the youths, see, this person has come. See, this person has come. And this person has come. And also, see, this person refused to come. And this other person refused to come.
Right.
Is this person really supporting the peace that we are fighting for here? No. And so during such forums, we get to enlighten our youths also on the same. And I can comfortably confirm that some are responding.
Right.
They're responding positively.
Right.
They're getting to realize, by the way, tuko na nguvu. And that is actually our main aim. When someone wakes up and they realize, I am powerful, let me take this vote. Let me vote for so and so. Because voting for so and so is voting for my empowerment.
Right. Now, because of time, Lisa, that's so impressive of what you're doing. But because of time, in about 2 minutes, what would be your final message to the youth and to the general populace who are following up on this discussion?
Okay. I want to reach out to everybody watching me, listening to me. I want the youths to wake up. You have so much power within you, and there is no one that can stop you once you decide to wake up and follow your journey. Politics come and go. You will be left with your neighbor and your brother. If you fight today, then you will have nothing tomorrow. We are also reaching out to the NGOs. We are reaching out to NCIC. We are reaching out to NACADA. We are reaching out to anybody who can come on board and help the young people drive peace projects. Not only peace projects, also anti-drugs project, because when someone takes so much drugs, he will interfere with the peace of the community. So we are reaching out to NACADA, we are reaching out to NCIC, we are reaching out to these people who have at least escalated to a different level more than me are. And me, I'm speaking maybe to Jalango, I'm speaking to Caroline Mutoko, I'm speaking to Nyambane, I'm speaking to all the people who can be able to hold the youths and bring them up on table so that they can be able to also feel empowered.
Right.
Because when you empower a youth, you have already empowered the whole community.
Sure.
This is the future. This is the future you are empowering. So please support us, come on board, help us drive the mission.
Right.
We are really looking forward to that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's so impressive, Lisa. Thank you so much for that, powerful discussion, driving the message of peace to the general populace ahead of polls. Thank you so much. Now, with that, we are taking another very short break here on KUTV Primetime News. The moment we shall be coming back with more, so stay with us. See you on the other side.
KUTV, in conjunction with Kenyatta University Funeral Home, is now offering death announcements immediately following on news bulletins at 7 p.m. At this sorrowful time, as you share in your grief, allow us to communicate your announcement of your loved one on KUTV in both Kiswahili and English. For more details, kindly inquire at the KU Funeral Home Service Desk or call 0736 928 380 or dial 020 359 9054.
Ni mwanzo mpya kwa mtazamaji wa Boresha Kilimo. Tunaangazia mapito tofauti ya wakulima, teknolojia mpya, juhudi za kuimarisha utoshelevu wa chakula, nafasi za kazi katika majira ya ajira, mbinu mpya. Kaa nami Laban Shaban kupata makala ya kukuburudisha na kuelimisha hapa KUTV. Ni a new experience.
Things you know are right. Nothing worth the gain you attain by sudden. Don't you know that I still care for you? Me flip flop, got me needing more and more of you. Gonna be the one to catch you.
Far East, welcome to the empire. Far East, we call it find true love.
machungu yote yatakwisha, mambo yote yatakuwa ni mapya. Tukutane paradiso, tukutane enzini mbinguni, baada ya dhiki za hapa ulimwenguni tukutane.
Safina inang'oa nanga sasa hivi. Hivi sasa ni saa 2 Ijumaa usiku badala ya saa 3 kamili juu ya alama, due to public demand. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
Natamani kufika pale, mji mzuri ajabu wapendeza, hakuna mfano wa mazuri yajayo, jitahidi ufike mbinguni juu. Siku yaja tutasahau yale yote yanayotuhuzunisha, tumeahidiwa na Mungu.
Imagine living in a society that embraces social justice and equal opportunities for all. On Woman Crush Wednesday, Rise Today, we bring you experts for meaningful conversations on matters gender equality.
Mimi nasaona hakuna gender equality as we speak.
So we continuously work with the men.
I feel that they're judging the girl. Parenthood.
Mind is very important in infertility.
Mental and physical health.
You need to be surrounded by a proper network.
After nimeanza healing process, nilikumbuka kuhusu boys na wase wenye niliacha ghetto. Like kila wakati nilikuwa najaribu kutafuta mbinu yenye naweza wafikishie ujumbe.
I feel like if you have 15 minutes, if you have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever amount of time, use it, because any physical activity is beneficial. No physical activity is dangerous for you.
And we touch on current affairs.
Marrying is a journey. It means you're taking a journey together.
I'm dying to be different.
Changamoto ziko, but you can't sit there saying, oh, mimi nitafanya mziki siku yenye dozi takam.
You look at this person and you're like, wow, they just woke up and they found themselves here.
Join us every Wednesday morning at 7 to 10 a.m. here on Rise Today Woman Crush Wednesday. I am your host, Nina Gikunda.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Omondi Otieno.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Let's carry on with the bulletin. Now, boosting foreign exchange is what the tourism stakeholders are working on, with the shilling facing turbulent waters in the money market. And as a relief, a trim on delivery prices by Jumia. This and much more on a business wrap.
Key stakeholders in the tourism and travel industries have agreed to partner in order to significantly resuscitate the sectors which have been adversely affected by the restrictions occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. During a consultative forum hosted by the African Travel and Tourism Association, the stakeholders, who included the Kenya Tourism Board, Kenya Airways, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, and the tourism sector umbrella bodies under the Kenya Tourism Federation, agreed to correspondingly promote synergies between the government and the private sector to enhance tourism and travel in the country and beyond the borders. A sharp turn to the money markets, where the Central Bank of Kenya CBK has revealed that forex reserves fell from $8.715 billion to $8.287 billion. Last week, the shilling declined to exchange at 114 against the dollar, down from 113, with the CBK reportedly using part of the reserves to support it. A higher demand for dollars from importers to meet their end-month needs further put pressure on the forex reserves. Despite the sharp decline, however, the CBK said the forex reserves remain adequate and continue to provide cover and a buffer against short-term shocks in the foreign exchange market. And on a cost-relieving report, Jumia has launched free delivery services for all orders above 1,000 shillings for all consumers within Nairobi. In a statement, the firm said that all products that qualify for free delivery have a free delivery tag on the platform and includes electronics, phones, computing, FMCGs, power banks, blenders, TVs, groceries, and the usual cardboard items. For KUTV Business Wrap, I'm Daphne Orina.
And on the money market, on average, the US dollar was buying at 113.47 cents and selling at 113.67 cents, with the sterling pound buying at 152 shillings and 40 cents, while selling at 152 shillings and 71 cents. The euro was buying at 127 shillings and 10 cents and selling at 127 shillings and 34 cents. The South African rand averaged 7 shillings and 28 cents, buying and sold at 7 shillings and 30 cents. The Ugandan shilling was going at 30 shillings and 83 cents and buying and selling at 30 shillings and 97 cents. The Tanzanian shillings on the other side was buying at 20 shillings and 27 cents and selling at 20 shillings and 40 cents. All this being the indicative rates. And in the money markets, the car and general was top gainer, closing business at 59.2 shillings, a gain of 9.72%, and BOC gases was the top loser, closing trading at 70 shillings and 50 cents, which was an 8.44% drop. The mover was KCB, with moving 5 shillings and 5.58 million shares. Now, a section of residents in the Inyanze area of Ngomeni ward in Mwingi North sub-county have fled their homes following fear of attack and invasion by elephants. The area locals say that over 20 elephants invaded the area over a month ago from the Kora Game Reserve that neighbors that, neighborhood.
Incidents of elephant invasion in the country have been reported to be worsening, especially after a herd of elephants invaded some parts of the country. Taita Taveta and Kilifi counties are some of the places that witnessed such invasions last year. A section of residents in Inyanza area of Ngomeni ward in Mwingi North sub-county have been forced to flee their homes over fears of being attacked by elephants again. This is after over 20 elephants invaded the area over a month ago from the neighboring Kora Game Reserve.
Walikuwa wanakulanga majamba yetu kabisa. Watu wengine wakahamishwa na hiyo mandovu. Na sasa hiyo tunataka serikali tusaidie, hiyo mandovu imetusumbua sana. Kwa vile watu wengine hawana chakula saa hizi. Tunakuwa na njaa.
The elephants have caused destruction to farm produce as they feed on the locals' green grams, sorghum, millet and maize among other plantation. Another local, Muliungi Kilonzo, reveals that children have also stopped going to school as parents fear they might be attacked.
Sasa tunachangaa, ndovu ni ya serikali. Sisi ni watu wa serikali. Tunafanya namna gani? Tunazumbuliwa na serikali. Mtoto akianza kugombana na yule mwingine, baba ndiye anakuja kumtenganisha. Serikali yetu tunaomba ikuje tutenganishe na ndovu. Juu watu wamehama, saa hizi ng'ombe zinachapa usiku, watu wanalala msituni.
Ngomeni MCA Eliud Mutati has called on the government to intervene as residents have witnessed huge losses, saying the Kenya Wildlife Service should act fast as human-wildlife conflict was escalating in the region.
Mbali na hiyo, naoleza serikali kama ina roho ya hutu, ya umbinadamu, ya kuchunga mtu na mali yake, ichunge hawa watu ya Nyanza ndio wapate kuvuna hile wako nacho, wajaribu kupeleka watoto shule.
Residents now want the government and other relevant agencies to intervene on this matter. Daphne Orina for KUTV.
Thank you, Daphne, for that report. Now, teenage girls of the Nakuru school have embarked on preaching the message of cultural cohesion and integration among themselves and residents of Nakuru town. The cultural day held in the school was mainly geared towards showcasing divergent cultures of different communities and enhancing socio-political tolerance ahead of the August polls.
A big day it was in Nakuru school as teenage girls held a cultural day showcasing their divergent cultures. The girls roused enthusiasm about cultural diversity and the need for coexistence through the Hidden Agenda movement for unity, with a view of helping to foster tolerance among Kenyans and enhance understanding about various cultures in Kenya.
The essence of having a cultural day in our school is to showcase the diversity of having different cultures.
The school's 1,200 students say the idea was born out of the challenge to go back to their roots and understand their culture, learn from other cultures by showcasing their folkways, traditional cuisines, and become ambassadors of positive change in their communities in the face of rapid erasure by the Western culture.
As far as we have different tribes, that should not bring a feeling of tribalism in us. We are different. We have different cultures. As well as we appreciate them, we should know that we are one.
The school director Henry Watindi says the monthly co-curricular event seeks to nurture wholesome individuals in good morals and impact a sharp sense of neighborliness on the learners, who he says are increasingly susceptible to the intrusion of Western culture.
And we know that the youths are the ones that are abused the most. They are used by politicians, the bad politicians, to cause chaos. By showcasing that we can be different in terms of culture, in terms of cultural practices, it is showing tolerance, social cohesion, socio-political tolerance that these youth should have.
A good gesture it was, as the girls showcased their divergent cultures with the aim of creating harmony and integration to foster unity among various communities. And in the words of Robert Allen, cultural differences should not separate us from each other, but rather cultural diversity brings a strength that can benefit all of humanity.
Let's now take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Now, the seventh leg of the road to the Glen Eagles John Walker Golf Series teed off at the Eldoret Sports Club on Saturday, with over 130 golfers battling for glory. Claiming the first position was the quartet comprising of Dr. Felix Tarus, Dr. Peter Maritim, Dr. Paul Mwangi, and George Njoroge, who jointly scored a remarkable 114 stable 4 points. In the ladies category, Imani Sago's 39 points were enough for her to claim the top spot, one better than Irene Brooker, who had carried 38 points to earn her the runners-up spot. Following the Eldoret event, focus now shifts to the Kericho Golf Club for the 8th leg of the series, set to be played on the 19th of February. The top 3 winning teams join the list of players that will proceed to the next round of the series, dubbed the Eagles round, to be played in Muthaiga, and finally the series grand finale to be played in May 2022. And with that, we call it up here on KUTV Primetime News. Many thanks indeed for your valid company throughout the bulletin. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Sharon Wamboi. My good name is Omondi Otieno. And I leave you with this: when you have a dream, you've got to get hold of it and never let it go. I shall be explaining that tomorrow on the Primetime Bulletin. So stay with us. Shall be seeing you tomorrow. For now, you have a great night.